Apothecary Diaries, Season 1, Episode 22. Time is passing. Wow. Her kid's growing up. It is cute. Oh no, it's starting. Dark. That is very pointed commentary coming from Maomao. Does she realize the poignancy of that statement? Self-foreshadowing. And a poignant shot of flowers. Right? We are really living a life at the palace. Oh no! Jinchi getting dragged. Oh, she's even talking. Of course. Please don't eat it. But the baby has already picked up on this. Your negative reaction made the baby more interested. Episode 22, Blue Roses, just like the last episode. What do you want? What does it mean, Lakan? What does it mean? This is the beginning of a plot. Things are now in motion. Might have to enlist someone who's an expert on flowers. This is such a tense, disgusted conversation, despite the smiling. I like you visiting, Lakan. A lot. Speaking of dreadful, I mean, the last garden party was such a rager. What's to look forward to? The blue roses, I guess. And there it is, the mask falls. Yeah, that was painful. He has so much leverage over me, Gaoshin. I feel like I particular get riled up more than I should about this. Like when I'm struggling with a problem that I'm really frustrated with, and then someone points out the nature of the problem. There's something about that that just gets to me. It's like, yes, I am painfully aware of this issue. Bonus multiplier if they offer unsolicited advice despite knowing nothing about the problem, because then you have the pleasure of walking them through every single excruciating detail that you are currently living, while confessing to your own failures as a human being. You do it, Gaoshin. Gee, if only we were close with somebody who knew about flowers. At this point, my man Lakan is just torturing Jinchi. This should have been your first bet. Oh, that was courtesy, wasn't it? Because it's Lakan. That's different. Seeing Maomao's face reminded me. She looks especially cat-like in that shot. Speaking of my cat, or whatever. Sure, whatever you say. Sure, you don't say. If so, I would also love to see it, if I hadn't already. I like how that's the Occam's razor on that. You're on drugs. You're all on drugs. Would it? Jinchi is a drug purist, drug extremist. Maybe this is the point. Maybe the blue roses was just the hatred in Lakan's heart the whole time. Blue roses were the friends we tortured along the way. He's really afraid. Very astute observation. I'm sorry I brought this up to you at all. Oh, this maybe is it right here. This is the plan. There's only one person who could do it in the palace. No, but you're playing right into his game again. That's what he wants. He just wants any engagement. He just gets bigger with all attention, positive or negative. He wins either way. He's very anti-fragile in his creepiness. He's the rage bait influencer, or the rage bait commenter. You can't beat it, you can only starve it. Oh, is it the, what is it, the sauna? That I originally thought Maomao was constructing for selfish reasons? Right, yeah, I remember. How did you know that? Also, what book? I want to know what the Emperor's reading. Is it like a flower house? Greenhouse. We're gonna change the weather. We're gonna trick the rose, but then also make them blue somehow with some kind of dye. Put blue dye in the roots. It's just crazy enough to work. Oh, she's still really injured. Wow. Even after time has passed, she's just carrying this injury. That's really concerning. Which I completely ignored. Yeah, I haven't seen her for a while. Shalan.
種類はばらけさせ、できるだけ早咲きのものを選んだ。
It's a fun project. Gonna overwork herself again. Don't overwork yourself, Maomao. Please do this really difficult thing for us, Maomao.
人手を数名派遣してもらったが、他人に任
That
せることは
is
難しい
also a
作業だ。
trade-off, speaking of trade-offs. It's easy to overdo this, but, you know, there's some things that only you can do, which is annoying. Or I guess maybe what's more common is it's not necessarily that you're the only one who could do it. It's just you have so much of an advantage on doing it. It feels weird or cruel to enlist other people to do it. This is an issue for which I have no answer. And a lot of things are at the margins, like it's not so clear if you should get help, even though you would love to have help. In many cases, you just end up using the same amount of energy or more energy, facilitating the process of other people doing your work.
間違って全て枯らしてしまって
Right,
は
and
お
like,
しま
is
いだ。
Maomao gonna explain all of that, all the intricacies, or is she just gonna do it? It would probably take less energy.
気持ちよさそう。
But how do we make them blue, though? We're gonna get roses. I believe that much.
あ
Wow.
りがとうございます。
仕事サボれておやつまでもらえる
Maybe she was expecting like a bower. She was expecting an oxen bower, some kind of fungus, plant fungus, insect fungus.
もの珍しいのか。
They're hating.
それとも怖いもの見たさか。
Or are they? So many little tiny little hints in this show that come back to bear fruit later. I can't dismiss anything. What is their issue? Why are you spying?
新芽の多い苗があったらいくつか摘んでくれる。栄養が集中して咲きやすくなりますし。
I'm just an apothecary.
大丈夫だよ
Nice of her. She just yeeted that insect back to its natural habitat.
つぼみなかなかで
This is really like relaxing and nice as a vignette, even though I know it has larger significance. And even though the underpinning here is super creepy because it's Lakan.
徹夜で小屋を温める。
Mama once again giving her all. This woman who is incapable of love.
天候はままならない。
You just worry about the things you can control. Recognizing that distinction is a big part of the game. And then also doing it.
昨日も寝てないの
Do you even need to ask?
できることやっとくからちょっとだけ寝たら
There is a way where this crosses lines, and you're just not trusting people when they are perfectly capable because you have a desire to control it. You can't lean on others, or you're afraid to lean on others. You can't let go enough and trust other people to do what they say they'll do, or think no one can do things as well as you can when they can. You again.
またこっち見てるね
What do you want? Out with it.
というか気が散る。
Maybe they
何か気をそ
want
ら
to
せ
learn
る
about flowers. Maybe there's a non-malicious interpretation here.
これがつまくれないか
花町ではみんなやってるよ。
綺麗だもんね
And then everyone copied it?
帝の寵愛を受ける上級妃は流行りの最
Stands
先
to
端
reason,
だ
yeah?
な。
Gotta pay attention to your environment. This also may be why Jinshi didn't want to ask. But he still asked, right? I think at this point it's pretty clear it's not just rank. I mean, we know that one point of leverage is that Lakan knows about his secret, his mask. But I feel like there might be even more than that. This is just pure domination over Jinshi. You know someone is completely dominated and they're extremely compromised when they are usually of good character, but they're compromising their own values. Like, Jinshi clearly didn't want to ask Maomao for this. He knew on some level, though probably not this extreme of a level, what this would mean, and yet he decided to do it anyway. He crossed his own line. That is a pretty powerful statement, I think. Like, I know I'm in a bad place when I'm doing things I know I would have told myself I would never do. When you find yourself in surprising new territories of like, how did I get here? That's when there's something that has its tendrils in your life that probably needs to be exercised. Because also, that just doesn't work out well. Like, you can't appease that way. You think you can, or you're afraid of what happens if you don't, but it all just unravels so quickly because, like, the only reason you're not like that for everything all the time is because of your points of strength. And if you're compromising your points of strength for that, you have less points of strength, so you are more susceptible to that exact thing that's controlling you. You know, like, you have a bad relationship that you're just super hooked on and invested in, and your partner asks you to cut off friends, and you don't know what to do because you're so deathly afraid of losing the relationship, so you start cutting off friends. That in no way brings you closer to the relationship or anything good because you've allowed the tendrils in deeper to your brain, and you've cut off lifelines you had that gave you any sort of resistance to those tendrils. You have less to fall back on, you have less influences. You've sacrificed more, so it's harder to go back because you now have momentum, and you need to justify those terrible sacrifices. It's really messy. This has been my catastrophization of the Jinshi-Lakan relationship.
非効率ね。 本ニャン様はおしゃれより仕事か。
That also feels important somehow. Hongming doesn't like fashion.
今回玉葉様は欠席されるの。
Yeah, because of the
ローラン
pregnancy.
様のお披露目に席をお譲りする形よ。
妊娠を隠すためか。
To hide it. That's interesting. Yeah, makes sense.
どんどんやつれていってるわよ。
あまり無理しないでね。
It's good that they're concerned. I feel like Maomao doesn't know how to accept it. This is a real issue. Maybe she's doing an experiment on her leg. How bad can it be? What kind of fungus is she putting in there? Or not. I mean, this doesn't look like she's having fun with it even. Oh no.
つぼみ。
Oh, it's good news.
見つけたの。
Please be careful.
このまま行けばなんとか咲いてく
But
れ
at
る
what cost? And for what benefit? Oh, she knocked out. She needs sleep. And then in real life, she does all this and she produces the roses and people look and are like, And then that's it. Or people don't even notice.
ジン様。
You gave her this request, you didn't even check in on her. Did you, Jinchi? What have I done? What horrible deeds. Yay, another rip-roaring garden party. Look at how much fun everyone is having. Just look at their pleased faces. So noble, so solemn. Oh yeah, it's her big debut. There you go. There's some smiles. Lady Lulan really lighting up the room, but not caring about it at all, as usual. Until she spots Jinchi. She's got him on her radar. She did it! Wait, how'd she make them blue? Probably dye. I know you can change the color of roses from the color of the water that they absorb. Or flowers, rather. Not bad. Anyway.
いくら秀でた容姿があろうと、若造の宦官が出しゃばる様を好むほど、無欲な感ばかりでは。
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of snakes in this crowd. A lot of competition. A lot of sycophants. This is why I left that cultish thing I was in. It wasn't even because I wasn't benefiting from it or I didn't like the leader. It was because of this, like this weird squabbling about who's better and who's more favored, and it just got really irritating.
いくらでも利用法がある。嫉妬もいい。扱いやすい。厄介なのは、何を考えているのかわからない。
Interesting.
今なお、帝は頭が上がらない。
That's very interesting. You never know, right?
師匠よりも厄介なのは。
That someone is eating chicken in the middle of the garden party? He just did that publicly. There's so much going on right now. Okay, wow, that was a packed couple of seconds there. Most importantly, most significantly, Lakan just wiped his greasy fingers on that dude's hat. That's not cool, man. Is it weird? It is. This is perverse. That just made me like him more. The audacity of that, but also the creativity, the acute problem solving. Literally in front of the emperor at this boring garden party. This man is just eating chicken. He's eating chicken and then wiping the grease on an official's hat. And it means nothing to him. He did it so effortlessly, so casually. This is a man who is the master of his own universe. I love the pen. It's like this serious monologue of Jinchi talking about his smile fading in power dynamics. And then we move over to Lakan, and what is he doing? He's taking a bite out of fried chicken. So it's completely unbothered. And then it gets worse. The show just doubles down when he wipes his fingers on the dude's hat. And then there's somebody like raging beside him. I feel like we needed a pan to that. Or maybe it's exactly what it looks like, and it's just like he is appalled by this behavior. Then, if we can get past that somehow, the idea that the emperor would be nervous or shy around someone. There's something really cool and human about that. There's the societal dynamic thing of it that comes with a little bit of that conspiratorial intrigue of like, who are the real puppet masters? But also just on a human level, everybody has their little insecurities and their little exploits. There's something like a rock, scissors, paper element to it. What seems like one likely explanation for that is just the roles that come with age, you know? Like if he was his mother's favorite, then he's sort of been an adult authority figure to him from childhood to now. You know, there's that congruity of relationship, which is kind of cool. It's a nice touch and also very intriguing for what it means for the story. Then I think Jinchi's explanation is really cool, that it's sort of the unknown, you know, it's the hidden that is the most terrifying. I definitely feel this way. It's not the treachery of people I feel like I can see, or the flaws in people around me that I think are weaknesses that somehow reflect on my own life somehow, as long as I feel like it's within my realm of understanding. It's more the things of like, what do I don't know? What am I missing that is terrifying? Those are the things that can really drive you insane. Also, it seems like maybe Jinchi's making a parallel here. That person for him is Lakan, who is currently eating fried chicken. He is truly a menace. And finally, it seems like an admission that he did make an impossible task for Maomao. But like knowing it would reach Maomao, right? Did we miss the garden party this time? We didn't get any pins.
私はこれで。
座ったままでいい。
It doesn't feel as romantic since she nearly killed herself for that rose. It's like, it's rightfully hers.
それは 俺に対してすまないと言うんじゃないのだろうな。
I'm apologizing to the roses. She's still not satisfied.
染めただけですよ。
Okay, it was that,
染
yeah.
めた？何もついて
You can
な
dye
い。
them in the roots.
外側ではありません。
Weirdly, I did like a science fair project on this when I was a kid. Finally, something I have actual lived experience in. I didn't think it was possible.
何かしら言いがかりをつける感が出るかもしれません。帝には先に種明かしをしておきました。最初に秘密を知るのが嬉しいらしく、楽しそうに聞いてくださいましたよ。
It's pretty crazy how casually she just dropped that she's on like friendly terms with the Emperor. That is a big deal. The Emperor? Oh, you mean Jimmy? Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He's a cool dude. Maomao just on a casual basis with the Emperor of the land.
毎日毎日青い色水を装備に吸わせる暇人がいたんでしょう。
It was him. He did it.
なんでまたそんなことを。
Some very weird, creepy man.
女を口説く道具でも欲しかったのでは。
It's not a bad idea. It's the same kind of person that would wipe chicken grease on someone's hat.
放線花と型紙があればもっと綺麗に染まるんだけど。
Can you like let down your perfectionism by like 5%?
猫足の異名を取る型紙。二つを練り合わせて爪につけると鮮やかな赤になる。
I'll remember that next time I have the chance to make nail polish out of balsam.
頼んでいたものは。
ええ、言われた通りに。
A bower, an ox bazower, bower.
これで舞台は整った。
Oh, she's going after him.
いけすかないやつに一泡吹かせるだけだ。
I would love to see it, but I'm alarmed at the bravado.
まさか挑発が失敗に終わるとは。
Oh, it looks like it did succeed, actually. Oh, he just sees everyone as pieces. That was shocking for me for a second. I'm like, what happened to them?
せいぜいシャンチーの
How many different types of games is he playing?
階級が上がるほどに馬、砲となっていく。
It does sound fun,
軍部の仕事
if
は
devoid of, you know, any heart.
駒に見合った配置をすればいい。適材適所。それで大体の戦は勝てる。
I mean, this is what he does. He's a strategist.
たとえ自分が無能でも割り当てさえやれば勝手に仕事を終わらせてくれる。
You know, this is maybe like one of the meta skills of skills. This is very personally relevant to me because I have met certain people in extremely high fields, like just incredible affluence and power. Everyone in their own way has their weaknesses and their gaps in knowledge and ways in which they appear very low level of a particular task. What's really surprising sometimes is even people at the very top can turn out to be not even good at their own field. It's like, how did that happen exactly? That kind of flies in the face of, I think, some of the things we're told about, you know, just get really good at things and work really hard and study hard, develop something to contribute and then do it. Not to say that's not true or not a path, but it misses another viable one of like, if you're really, really good at moving people around and selecting the right people to move around, there are sort of limitless things you can assemble, even without really being aware fully of like every detail of the assembly process. Sometimes it just comes down to just great command and like the ability to emotionally move people and the judgment about knowing who to select.
今日はいつも以上に目が痛い。どうにも赤い色がちらつく。
It's the nail polish, this trend.
記憶の中のつまべにはけばけばしい赤ではない。うっすら染まった。
Balsam, yeah. He sees her face, though. That's interesting. She's more than a piece. I'm like very willing to write up Lakan. I wonder though. It would be really interesting if there's more to him than initially appears. What if he wants to have a daughter? You know, what if he wants to have a daughter that he loves? That would be quite the monkey wrench on his evil, which also would be really exciting. Though it is kind of upsetting and alarming that for someone he doesn't see as a piece, she sure moved in like predictable piece fashion, it seems, from his blue rose gambit. You know, despite Jinchi not wanting it to happen, despite Maomao not wanting it to happen, she ended up coming to him. Now he is within range to touch us all with his greasy chicken fingers.